How's it going, BCHL fans? Ian Wilson alongside Jordan Tavares of the West Kelowna Warriors. Jordan, first things first, welcome to the league and congratulations on your first complete season. How does it feel to be bringing all of the big moments for West K to the fans far and wide?
It feels awesome. And I mean, the team made it pretty easy for me in the first year. They've been pretty good. But it feels awesome. I love being a part of it. It's been a blast, to say the least.
Absolutely. And now here we are. It is time for the playoffs. And the West Kelowna Warriors, they have got a ton of momentum, to say the least, as they come away the Ron Boylo regular season trophy winners. Man, West K had a sensational year.
Yeah, they did. It was on the back of a lot of depth and goaltending and everybody pulling the same rope. So it was fun to watch. I mean, if you talk to, head coach Simon Ferguson, he'd maybe say it's just a feather in the cap. I mean, the goal is what's coming next, but that's a pretty good feather to put in the cap, if you ask me. It's been a good season. It's been a lot of fun.
The cap is pretty heavy right now. I mean, Ron Boylo, they've also had the most all-stars out of the teams this season out in Spruce Grove back in January. I mean, the accolades have already been coming fast and furious, but of course, there's one that they now are going to put a little bit above the rest, and that is the Rogers BCHL Cup, formerly known as the Fred Page. What are we expecting in this opening round? I mean, it's a divisional matchup, but you guys have still got a bit of a roadie ahead of you as you're going up against the Cranbrook Bucks.
Yeah, they got a lot of good players too. I really like Jack McMinn. He's somebody who every time we watch Cranbrook and West K play, he's just very noticeable. They got a few more too, but it just comes to that point, and when it's the playoffs, it doesn't really matter regular season success, of course, right? It's if you can even ask Pisani on the Bucks, his dad in 2006 was kind of the catalyst of that. It doesn't matter regular season, it doesn't matter anything. Anything can happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great hockey. We were chatting before about all rounds are going to be great hockey in round one, and I couldn't agree more.
And for West K, I mean, you guys have been a very cohesive unit this year. You've had Angelo Zoll, the Zoller Express in net. You guys have had Lim Nilsson leading the back end. And of course, guys up front like Dylan Crayer, as well Burke joining the team as well. You've had a lot of well-rounded performances this season.
It's depth, and it has been that way the entire year. It's almost like Coach Simon Ferguson, he can put out any line and it'll be very dangerous to score. Me and my color broadcaster, John, we talk a lot about it's not even line ones and twos anymore. It's like a 4-line twos or however you want to call it. They're all dangerous. And when players leave the lineup, other players come in and step up, and it's just everybody pulling that rope, and it's been awesome.
And what's the fan support been like this year? I mean, Royal LePage, at least looking on the broadcast angles, has looked like it's been rocking.
It's been really good. And that last home game when Victoria came to town, it was electric. And I feel like that's how the playoffs are going to go. I hope that's how the playoffs go, because there was a lot of people there, and it was a buzz. I mean, that hockey game kind of, added to that too with the fights and the penalties and all that. But there was a buzz in that building that I think was just building up for next Friday. I think that's how it's going to be.
Absolutely. The opening round is very, very shortly going to be upon us. Last thing I got for you, just leave us with some final thoughts or a message for the fans ahead of this opening round.
Oh, that's a tough one. I got so many thoughts with this team, but I just want the fans to come out, support the team, be part of the run. Hopefully it's a long one. But yeah, just come out, support the team. They put in the effort, and it'd be great to just show up and give the effort back, which they have been, but, just continue doing that. And let's walk this team, maybe do a championship.
Awesome, Jordan. Well, thank you very much for taking the time, and good luck as the playoffs are upon us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
How's it going, BCHL fans? Ian Wilson alongside Drew Wilson, the stalwart voice of the Trail Smoke Eaters. Drew, thank you very much for taking the time out to have a discussion.
My pleasure.
And the Trail Smoke Eaters, second in Interior West to finish off the regular season. And what a year it was. A lot of big moments and just a lot of exciting hockey coming out of the Kootenays.
Oh, absolutely. To say that, well, I was just chatting with Coach and General Manager Eric Thurston a moment ago, and he said, never a dull moment. There's always something going on with this hockey team this year, and it really has been. There have been so many storylines. The hockey's been great, as we've seen throughout the entire league, and it's now down to playoffs, the best time of year.
Indeed it is. And as one broadcaster to another, I just have to say thank you for coining some of the wackiest, wildest, and funnest calls across the league this season. They've been some pretty sensational ones that have come out of the mic.
Well, I've been doing it a long time, so I've had, I guess my bank of stock lines are rather large, and I just picked the one that seemed to be appropriate at the time.
So talk to us a bit about the 25-26 season for the Smokies. You mentioned some of those incredible storylines. What were some of those that allowed the Smokies as much success as they did this season in the Interior West?
Well, the great start. Obviously, right off the top, they didn't even get into their own rink until mid-October because of the renovations at Cominco Arena, but they only started with a 9-0 record on the road. So that was a great foundation for the first half, which finished 20-6. The second half has been a challenge. There's no doubt about that. But really, the great start that they got off to, especially on the road, really set the table for riding it out in the second half.
And now the opening round of the playoffs. It is time for the season reset, as people say. And what can we expect going into this Rogers BCHL Cup playoff run?
Well, when you're talking about Trail versus Salmon Arm, flip a coin. This is a toss-up. The season series was 4-3 in favor of Trail, and one of those games went to a shootout that the Smoke Eaters won. The teams are very evenly matched. They've both got great goaltending. The Smokies may have a slight advantage in terms of their offense up front, but when you look at Salmon Arm's offense on the back line, that balances out. So this could be an extremely close series. Both teams are somewhat defense-oriented as they head into the playoffs as well. So I think it's going to be true playoff hockey that we're going to see between these two teams.
And for the Smokies, again, one of those players that's looking to hopefully continue their emergence this season has been the continued chronicles of Christian Kim, the California kid. He has been simply fantastic for the Smokies among some of those other offensive weapons this year.
Well, he's been a magician with the puck. He's such a great playmaker. And what we seem to forget from time to time, because he seems to be a pass-first kind of guy, is that he's got a terrific shot as well. And we saw that on Friday night in Vernon. He scored on what looked like an NHL-style shot, a major league shot into the top corner. He has set the table with whomever his line mates have been. Now, he really caught fire with Cash Carter, who's the team's leading goal scorer. And Zach Coutu is a great third member of that, what we call the first line on that team.
Right.
So they've got a great first line. They've got a very solid second line. They've got a lot of really hardworking guys. This is a really hardworking team, as are the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. So like I said, this could go either way, and toss a coin.
And if you had to describe playoff hockey at Cominco to us, I mean, we already know that the fans of the Smokies are loud and proud, and now you've got the renovations complete and the broadcast, the building, it's all been looking beautiful this year.
It's a great building. I used to call Western Hockey League for 13 years, and the building here and the game night here rivals just about any game night and building in the Western Hockey League. The Murphy family have done an outstanding job, but the game night experience is really great, and the fans are really engaged. They're close to the ice. You can hear them. We're fortunate, whereas our broadcast booth is right above the fans. So we get to feel that experience as well. So it's a real treat for us in the booth. It's a treat for the guys on the ice, because they say that, wow, can we ever hear the fans tonight? They say that almost on a nightly basis at Cominco Arena.
Last thing I got for you, Drew, is just give us your final thoughts on this regular season that was, and maybe a message for the fans ahead of this playoff series and playoff run to be for the Smokies.
Well, the regular season that was, again, there was never a dull moment, either on the ice or off the ice. And the teams that are set for this playoff run, especially when I look at the Interior West Division, there are no gimmies. Like Cranbrook may have got into the fourth and final position, but they've been one of the hottest teams since the beginning of the second half, and there are no pushovers. There are no easy games in this series. And when you look at the Interior East, which we're all very familiar with, boy, oh boy, that was a race for first place between Brooks and Blackfalds. All four of those teams are capable of beating each other, as they are in both of those divisions. So really, every night that a fan comes into a building in either of the Interior West or in the Interior East playoff runs, you're just not going to know what's going to happen. Anything can happen, and likely will.
And when you've got that kind of air of chance, it's always going to be exciting night in and night out. Well, thank you very, very much, Drew, for your time, and best of luck as the playoffs get underway.
It was my pleasure, and yeah, it's going to be a great run.
How's it going, BCHL fans? Ian Wilson alongside Zach Stewart, the voice of the Salmon Arms Silverbacks. Zach, another season in the books. How are things going for you up in Salmon Arm?
Everything's good. Yeah, just getting geared up for playoffs and ready to get it started.
Yeah, it is. Blink and you miss it. We're already here, and it is time now for some pretty impressive opening rounds. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Silverbacks for the 2025-2026 season. You guys coming away with a pretty successful campaign, but still a lot yet left to be accomplished here coming up into the playoff push. What was it for Salmon Arm that found them their success this year?
I think it's been the story the last couple seasons. It's solid goalies and solid defense, just really playing on the back end, not allowing goals, and then having those one or two goal scorers who can find the back of the net when needed to.
And I mean, for the Salmon Arm Silverbacks, one of the big shakeups to the roster this season was losing one of those heart and soul guys in Maddox Martin, but then you picked up a heart and soul guy who has quickly embraced what it means to wear that purple jersey in Landon Mackey. You guys have had a lot of well-rounded performances this season from guys up and down the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. And well, you mentioned Mackey, like even his first game in, he is in a scrum fighting for a teammate that he just met 2 days ago. And then he's gotten so many multi-point games. He just has stepped up in a big way. The lines are always shaking up for us here in Salmon Arm, and it's always someone contributing game in and game out. So you look at the first line and it's unreal. You look at the fourth line and they're contributing. So it's been really impressive all season long.
And now you guys coming up into the playoffs, you've got the Trail Smoke Eaters to kick things off, and been some pretty impressive back and forth matchups between you guys all season long.
Yeah, exactly. I think if we were to draw it up, obviously without being the 1 seed, this is probably the matchup we would want to see going into the first round. Like you mentioned, just back and forth all season series. They blow us out one game, we blow them out one game, and then the rest are 1 goal differences. So it's going to be a fun matchup.
And especially, too, for your guys' division. I mean, now we've got the divisional first 2 rounds. You're no stranger to these Smoke Eaters. But then, of course, it's almost, even though they're in your division, it's still a road trip because Salmon Arm to Trail is no short jaunt. So how are you guys able to stay ready and stay prepared for a series like this where you got to spend so much time on the bus?
I think that's one of the advantages of being here in Salmon Arm is we really only have 2 close games, Vernon and West K. All the rest are road trips. So like we had a whole season to prepare. Playoffs are no different other than the step up in the actual on-ice production. But for the road trips, it's just another day on the bus, get ready for a 5-hour road trip and be ready to go.
Last thing I got for you, just give us a little bit of your final thoughts on the season or a message for the fans ahead of this playoff push.
I think it was a tremendous season. I mean, obviously with any team, there's ups and downs, but this fan base here in Salmon Arm has stuck through it, through all the downs. And really when we're riding high, you feel it here in the building. It's fun. And then especially heading into playoffs, taking that another step, Rogers Rink is going to be buzzing and it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on another great season up in the booth and looking forward to seeing what you guys do coming up in the playoff push.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's it going, BCHL fans? Ian Wilson alongside Ben Mantei from the Cranbrook Bucks, a first-year broadcaster here in the league, and sitting down for a quick discussion. Ben, thank you for taking time out of the schedule.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, first and foremost, welcome to the league. How do you feel your first season went?
You know, I think it went great. Obviously, talking about the team, it's been lots of ups and downs this year, but from the view of the staff side of things, it's been great. Obviously, you have Nathan Lewin in the front office, and then his supporting cast. Couldn't have asked for a better group around me.
Yeah, very excited to have you and looking forward to seeing the calls that come out of the booth in Cranbrook in this opening round. And I mean, hey, to beat the best, you have to beat the best. And you guys have Goliath in the opening round, your divisional rivals, the West K Warriors. How are the Bucks feeling about the opening round matchup?
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. I mean, we have the big kahuna round 1 right away. And, you know, they're a tough team. They're a team that's been good all season long, that have got the better of us a few times. We were able to squeak out some wins against them too, so we know that we're capable of beating them, and I think it'll be a good matchup with how the team has gelled over the course of the season. I think we're a much better team than we were at the beginning of the year, and I think we could cause any team in the BCHL some problems here in the playoffs.
And how have the Bucks managed to do that? I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You guys had a pretty impressive second half of the year, but what is it about this Bucks team that has allowed them to gel so well?
Yeah, looking at the beginning to now, I think defensively it's a more cohesive unit. There's not the chances that we're being let through at the beginning are not so more now. It's all the games that we've played in are 1 or 2 goal games, the ones that we've lost, and we're capable of putting points on the board now. And I think our power play unit has really gelled with. I think the big addition that we had when things switched was the return of Kaz Ferner from last year, and he kind of sparked things up, and now we've been rolling ever since.
Heck yeah, man. Last thing I got for you, just give us some final words or a message for the fans ahead of this opening round.
I think it's going to be a real nail biter. I think both teams are hungry. I know obviously the Bucks were out of the first round for the first time since since the team was founded from last year. They made the second round, and I think fans are wanting more of that. And I know the guys from last year are just excited to hit the ground running. And as you said, you gotta beat the best, and I think the team is ready for it, and it should be a good series.
We're very much looking forward to it. Well, thank you very much again, Ben, and best of luck with the opening round.
Thanks, Ian.